The command cut like a blade through the hospital corridor. "Hands where I can see them!" A black doctor, still in his white coat, froze. Charts spilling from his arms, eyes widening under the fluorescent lights. Patients gasped. Nurses stood frozen. The man who had just saved a life was suddenly cornered, not as a healer, but as a suspect. Cameras lifted. Whispers grew. This wasn't a crime scene. It was a hospital. Yet the next few moments would expose a truth more painful than any wound. Welcome, story lovers. From where are you watching? Comment your city. Dr. Marcus Hill believed hospitals were sanctuaries, places where race and class dissolved in the urgency of saving lives. At 38, his reputation stretched far beyond his city. Colleagues admired his steady hands in surgery, patients adored his calm voice during fear, and families trusted his judgment with their loved ones. To Marcus, medicine wasn't just a career, it was his calling. That night was no different, or so it seemed. The emergency wing pulsed with chaos, monitors beeping, stretchers rolling, worried families pacing the halls. Marcus, after hours of back-to-back cases, stepped out for fresh supplies. His coat hung loosely, a stethoscope draped over his shoulders, his mind racing with details of the next patient. But as he walked the corridor, he felt eyes on him. Unfamiliar, heavy, searching. He didn't know yet. His life was about to shift from healer to target. The new security guard leaned against the wall, watching every step Marcus took. At first, Marcus brushed it off. Fatigue, he told himself. But the footsteps followed, deliberate, unyielding. "Excuse me, sir." The words echoed, cutting through the noise of the ward. Marcus turned, surprised. The guard's gaze locked onto him, sharp, distrustful. "This is a restricted area. Identification." For a heartbeat, Marcus laughed inside. His coat, his badge, his stethoscope, wasn't that enough? But the guard's hand hovered near his belt, and the crowd's whispers began. "Who is he? What's happening?" Marcus raised his badge slowly, careful not to make sudden moves. Still, the guard stepped closer. "Don't move. Stay right there." The hallway grew tense. Nurses froze, torn between speaking and staying silent. Patients' eyes widened, some fumbling for their phones. The very walls of the hospital seemed to close in on him. The charts slipped from his hand, scattering across the floor. A young child gasped. Marcus bent instinctively to gather them, but the guard's voice thundered, "Hands up now!" And in that moment, surrounded by people he had healed, Marcus felt stripped of identity. Not a doctor, not a man, just a shadow cast by the color of his skin. The guard lunged forward, yanking Marcus's arm so hard the papers flew farther down the corridor. Gasps erupted. Phones were raised, recording. The very people whose lives Marcus had touched watched in horror, powerless. "Stop resisting!" the guard barked, though Marcus hadn't moved. His wrist burned from the grip. He wanted to shout, to fight back, but every instinct screamed that resistance could cost him more than his dignity. For Marcus, the world slowed to a single unbearable truth. He had saved lives in this building, yet here he stood humiliated, chained by prejudice that no badge, no degree could erase. The crowd held its breath. Was this the night their trusted doctor would leave not as a healer but as another broken headline? Dear audience, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps. The head nurse stormed forward, her voice trembling with fury. "That's Dr. Hill." The command cracked the silence. The guard faltered, grip loosening, shame flooding his face, but the damage was already done. Marcus picked up his scattered charts with trembling hands. Around him, the hallway buzzed with disbelief. He walked away, not in handcuffs, but not unscarred. That night he still operated, still saved a life. Yet inside, something shattered. The hospital once felt like sacred ground. Now it felt fragile, dangerous. His humiliation was not just his, it was a mirror held to society's face. How many more healers, teachers, and ordinary souls must be broken by suspicion before the world admits? This wound runs deeper than medicine can cure. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories and new videos.